Welcome to the dotnetmaui Smart Text Editor tutorial. Using the Syncfusion dotnetmaui Smart Text Editor, you can enhance your text input with AI-powered suggestions to improve the quality of writing, readability, engagement, fix errors, and refine style. In this video, I will show you how to display predefined suggestions, integrate an AI service, and offer smart, helpful suggestions in the Syncfusion dotnetmaui Smart Text Editor. I will also demonstrate how to display intelligent suggestions based on different user roles. Before you begin, ensure you have installed the latest version of Visual Studio 2026 with the required .NET-MAUI workload. You should also have one of the .NET SDKs installed on your machine. After installing the necessary tools, launch Visual Studio 2026 and click Create a New Project on the dashboard. From the list of project templates, I select the .NET-MAUI application and enter the project name and location. Next, create a project with the .NET 10 framework. The default application is now ready to use. Before moving forward, let me set up the application's environment. I select the Android emulators from the list to view the output in the Pixel 5 emulator. Next, I will run the application to show you the default output. The application compiles the default code in a few seconds. Now, the application's homepage is displayed. Next, to incorporate the Smart Text Editor component into the application, I need to install the Syncfusion MAUI Smart Components NuGet package. So, I open the NuGet Package Manager and switch to the Browse tab. I search for the Syncfusion MAUI Smart Components package, select it, and then install it in my project. After the package is installed, I need to register the Syncfusion core handler to map the cross-platform control API to the native view API. I open the MAUI program CS file and add the Syncfusion MAUI core hosting namespace. Then, register the handler by adding the configure Syncfusion core method. Registering a trial license key is necessary to use the Syncfusion MAUI controls. I open the app XAML CS file and add the register license method with the trial license key. To find out where to generate it, please refer to the instructions link in the description below. I navigate to the main page XAML file to initialize the control. I remove the default code from the content page section and import the Syncfusion MAUI Smart Components namespace. Then, initialize the SF Smart Text Editor control and specify the user role, which defines the context the AI should use when generating text suggestions. I also include placeholder text for guidance and set the editor's height and width. In the Smart Text Editor, I define a collection of user phrases to provide commonly used canned responses. These phrases appear as quick suggestions as you type. Now, I run the application. See, the Smart Text Editor is displayed. When I start typing, suggestions appear as a pop-up, enhancing the text editing experience. To enable intelligent suggestions in the editor, I begin by installing the Azure AI OpenAI package. I open the NuGet Package Manager, and I search for the Azure AI OpenAI NuGet package. Select it, and then install it in my project. In this example, I'm using Azure OpenAI, but you can use any chat completion service. If you decide to use Azure OpenAI, make sure that you have access and have configured deployment through the Azure portal. To securely authenticate the Azure services without storing API keys, I install the Azure Identity NuGet package. Additionally, I install the Microsoft Extensions AI OpenAI package to enable seamless AI integration into the application, and the Microsoft Extensions AI package, which provides unified interfaces for interacting with AI services. Once these packages are installed, I return to the MAUI program CS file. To configure the AI service, import the Syncfusion MAUI Smart Components hosting namespace and register the Configure Syncfusion AI Services method. Next, I set up the Azure OpenAI configuration by defining the Azure endpoint URL, the model's deployment name, and the API key. These values are essential for connecting to Azure OpenAI. Using this information, I create an Azure OpenAI client instance, retrieve a chat client for the specified deployment, convert it into an iChat client, and then register it with the MAUI dependency injection container. After completing the setup, I navigate to the main page XAML file and remove the predefined user phrases. Once the application loads, I begin typing. And you will see AI-powered intelligence suggestions appear as a pop-up. Next, I will add a drop-down list that displays smart suggestions for different user roles. First, I create a role class, which includes an ID property used to uniquely identify each role, and a text property that provides a user-friendly description of that role. Then, I create a view model class that implements the iNotify property changed interface. In this class, I define a collection that holds the list of available user roles. Within the constructor, I populate this collection with 4 predefined roles that will appear in the UI drop-down list. Next, I create a preset class that implements the iNotify property changed interface. This class stores the AI-related settings for the Smart Text Editor. I declare 2 properties, user role, which specifies the behavior the AI should adopt, and placeholder, which defines the instructional text displayed inside the editor. I move to the view model class. Here, I define the field, selected role, which represents the role currently chosen in the UI, current preset, which holds the active preset associated with that role, and preset map, a dictionary that maps each role to its corresponding preset. Next, I declare the current preset property, which displays the active preset to the UI. Whenever this preset changes, the AI role and placeholder text update instantly. I then declare the selected role property. When the user selects a new role, this property stores the new value and notifies the UI. It also checks the preset map dictionary for a matching preset. If it exists, assign it to current preset. Otherwise, clear it. This ensures the Smart Text Editor always displays settings that match the selected role. Inside the constructor, I populate the preset map dictionary by linking each role ID to a preset that defines both the AI role and the placeholder text shown in the editor. Each role has its own unique preset configuration. Finally, I check whether the roles collection contains any items. If it does, I set the first role as the default selected role. If the list is empty, I set the selected role to null. To display the roles in a drop-down menu, I begin by installing the Syncfusion MAUI inputs package. Next, I move to the main page XAML and add the Syncfusion MAUI inputs namespace. Then, I set the binding context of the page to the instance of the view model. To organize the layout, I use a stack layout, aligning the content both horizontally and vertically at the center, with minimal spacing for a clean appearance. Then, I add a vertical stack layout. Within it, I first add a label titled Role, with bold formatting. Below it, I place the SF combo box control. I bind the item source property to the view model's roles collection, allowing the drop-down to display all available roles. I specify the display member path and text member path properties to show the text property of each role. I set the height and width to control the drop-down size, and bind the selected item property to selected role to capture the user's selection. To keep the UI minimal, disable the clear button by setting its clear button visible to false. Next, I wrap the Smart Text Editor inside another vertical stack layout and add a label titled Response above it. Then, I bind the user role property to the current preset's user role, ensuring the editor behaves according to the selected role. Similarly, bind the placeholder property to the current preset's placeholder, ensuring the guidance text updates automatically based on the selected role. When the application loads, the combo box appears with the list of available roles, and the text editor displays a context-specific placeholder. As I type in the text editor, it provides suggestions based on the selected user role. You can also switch roles and continue typing. The suggestions will update according to the currently selected role. Let me wrap up this video. You learned how to display predefined suggestions, integrate an AI service, and offer smart, helpful suggestions in the Syncfusion.net MAUI Smart Text Editor. You also learned how to display intelligent suggestions based on different user roles. If you want to see this example's working code, download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also included a link to check if you qualify for our community license, which gives you a free license key for all our .NET MAUI controls. If you found this video helpful, click the like button and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.